everything.
So many people have been affected by these pictures, scarred for life and suffering from PTSD, unable to erase the images from their mind.
My name is Brandon. The victim is Bianca Michelle Devins.
On Sunday, July 14th, 2019, at around 4:40 a.m., 17-year-old Bianca texted her friend about a boy she had met at a concert that she really liked. This last message came at around 5:47 a.m., and by 7 a.m., Bianca was dead, with images of her body being shared all over the internet. What could have gone wrong? This is the case of the Insta-famous teen who was killed by her friend and posted online. Bianca Michelle Devins was born in Utica, New York, on October 2nd, 2001. Her mom, Kim, was 17 years old when she had her and had only been dating Bianca's father, Mike, for a few months before she found out she was pregnant. 2 years later, Bianca got a little sister called Olivia, whom she absolutely loved and protected. However, things at home were not that good because Bianca's dad, Mike, was emotionally abusive to their mom, and there were multiple incidents where the police were even called to the house. Still, Bianca grew up a cheerful, spirited, and outgoing girl who was always willing to help others. Sadly, Bianca would be taken away from her family while in the prime of her life.
He took my best friend. She was my everything.
According to her mom, things started going wrong when Bianca entered middle school. She became shy, anxious, and withdrawn, and suddenly lost interest in everything. She started having trouble socializing and would get serious panic attacks at the thought of leaving the house. Going to school was especially difficult for Bianca because she could be easily triggered by loud noises and sudden movements. After years of going through various therapists, Bianca was eventually diagnosed with multiple mental issues, including anxiety, depression, borderline personality disorder, and post-traumatic stress disorder. When things got worse in high school, her mother decided to pull her out and homeschool her. And while this did seem to help her with her anxiety, it also opened a door to a whole other problem, one that would eventually lead to her death. Like most girls her age, Bianca was already an active social media user, but now with her stuck at home all day, she got deeper and deeper into the online world, spending most of her time posting on Instagram, Tumblr, Discord, and others. She found comfort online and felt that this was where she was free to be whoever she wanted, without anyone judging her or misunderstanding her. She went on to create multiple personas to suit each platform, using different aliases like Switchblades, Ecstasy, Oxy, and Via. One of her online acquaintances would later say this about her. She'd always create a persona that would best suit who she's talking to or the community she's talking to that would keep them interested, so they'd feel like, hey, I have a really cool best friend that I can relate to. She became completely obsessed with anime, Minecraft, and cosplays, and would spend hours on her phone or on the family's computer. And while she was not really an Instagram celebrity like most media outlets are implying, she did have about 2,000 dedicated followers who loved her and shared her passion for cosplay and anime. In the anonymous image board 4chan, Bianca was popularly referred to as an e-girl and had quite a significant number of followers, who were mostly older men who worshipped and idolized her and did everything to get her attention. This community of lonely, weird men with disturbing fetishes for underage girls was where Bianca felt that she was loved and appreciated. These men would compliment her, telling her how pretty she was, and just to make her feel special. And Bianca innocently interacted with them, not knowing that they were actually grooming her. That's how Bianca came to meet with Brandon Andrew Clark, the man who would soon become her killer. Born on October 6, 1997, Brandon had quite a violent and traumatic past. When he was 12 years old, his dad Jason and his mother Michelle at knife point for 10 hours, threatening to kill her and himself because he believed that she was cheating on him. Luckily, the incident ended without any casualties, and Jason ended up spending some time in prison. While it's not clear whether Brandon was at home when this happened, many believe that the incident influenced him to do what he would later come to do. Growing up, Brandon was a nerdy, polite, and considerate kid, but as he got older, he became obsessed with Lolicon, a Japanese manga that features underage girls in adult situations. He started seeing young girls as romantic interests and was even caught texting a 12-year-old when he was 16, asking her to be his girlfriend, and sent him explicit pictures of herself. His friends were really concerned about his behavior and they confronted him about it, but Brandon reportedly dismissed them, saying, "Trust me, you're all better off not being concerned with what I do or think of doing because you won't like what you see." His friends would later say that they never spoke to him after that. When Brandon met Bianca, he was 21 years old, while Bianca had just turned 17. He approached Bianca on Instagram in April 2019, presenting himself as a nice guy who really cared about her. He was always texting her and complimenting her and generally making her feel really good about herself. Bianca thought that he was a friend, not knowing that he was just another predator. From the very beginning of their friendship, Bianca made it clear to Brandon that she couldn't offer him anything more than that, because she had other priorities, which were going to college and getting her diploma in psychology. Brandon seemed to be okay with that, and they continued hanging out, with him even coming over to Bianca's house during her graduation party and meeting her family. When Kim first met Brandon, she thought he was charming and polite. He treated her daughter with respect and seemed to be a really great guy. He, however, did strike her as a bit weird and odd, especially because he would go around telling people that he was Bianca's boyfriend, even when Bianca clearly told him that they were just friends. Bianca had also complained to her friends about how Brandon would send her creepy and obsessive texts, but they all thought that he was just being persistent and would give up once he realized that nothing would ever happen between him and Bianca. But they were wrong. On Saturday, July 13th, 2019, Bianca wanted to attend a concert in Queens, New York, where Canadian singer Nicole Dollanganger was performing. But Brandon, being the good friend that he was, offered to take her and bring her back home later, after the concert.
My last memory of Bianca is her looking beautiful, and she hugged me goodbye and said, "I love you." And I told her, "I love you, be safe."
At the time, Kim could have never imagined that it would be the last time she would ever speak to her daughter. What she discovered next will sicken you to your stomach. Next morning at around 6:03 a.m., a message was posted to Bianca's server on Discord saying, "Sorry, you're gonna have to find someone else to orbit." Attached along with the message was a gory picture of a dark-haired young girl who appeared to have her throat brutally cut off. At first, Bianca's friends thought that it was some sick joke and that the image had been downloaded from the internet. One of them did a reverse image search and asked the poster where he had gotten the image from, and the chilling reply came, "My car, Bianca, dumbass." As Bianca's friends struggled to figure out what was going on, the details of what had happened the previous night started to emerge. Apparently, when Bianca and Brandon went to the concert, they were met by another guy called Alex, who Bianca really liked. The two had been chatting for a while on Discord and had reportedly agreed to meet at the concert, where they reportedly kissed. The police would later learn that when Bianca and Brandon were driving home from the concert, he confronted her about the kiss and she reminded him that they were friends and therefore he had no right to be jealous. This made Brandon angry, and he reportedly pulled out a knife from beneath his seat and started attacking her before cutting her throat. He then left her nearly decapitated body in the car, lit a bonfire, and started taking pictures of her dead body body and posting them on social media. At around 7:30 a.m., he called 911 saying that he had killed Bianca and he was about to kill himself.
My name is Brandon. The victim is Bianca Michelle Devins.
The police got to the scene within minutes and found Brandon lying on a green tarp beside his car, with a small bonfire burning a few feet away. He had destroyed his laptop and hard drive and spray painted the words, "May you never forget me," on the ground. He had also posted a picture on his Instagram of a woman's bloody arm with the caption, "I'm sorry, Bianca," and then changed his bio to include the date of the day he was born and the day he would die, which was that particular day. When he saw officers approaching, he cut his throat and then took a selfie and added it to his Instagram story with the caption, "Ashes to ashes." But apparently he had not anticipated it hurting as much as it did, because by the time the officers got to him, he was rocking back and forth trying to fight through the pain. When one officer asked him where Bianca was, he rudely replied, "Where the do you think?" And that's when the police noticed the dark hair peeking out from beneath the tarp.
He came in and told me it is her, and by looking at the injury, she did not suffer. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I let her go with him because I trusted him with her.
Brandon did survive his self-inflicted injuries, and he was charged with second-degree murder. But get this. Despite having the murder weapon, the tarp that concealed the body, and posting the grisly images of the crime, Brandon initially pleaded not guilty to the murder, claiming that he blacked out and could not remember anything that happened. However, the police found several pieces of evidence to dispute this claim, including the search history on his computer, which clearly showed just how far in advance he had planned the murder, searching things like how to find the carotid artery and how to incapacitate or kill someone. When he realized that he was caught, Brandon changed his plea and pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. Sadly, this was not the end of the trauma that Bianca's family and friends would have to endure. On top of losing their loved one in such a horrid way, they had to deal with some sick and twisted individuals who found pleasure in tormenting them by tagging them in the gory images of Bianca's body and spreading lies about her. Although major social media sites tried to stop the pictures from being shared, the damage had already been done.
For almost 2 years now, Bianca's family and friends have been tortured by having to see pictures of our beautiful girl with her neck cut open. So many people have been affected by these pictures, scarred for life and suffering from PTSD, unable to erase the images from their mind.
What do you think about this case? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, and if you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more.